to Talking To. I am your host, Rufus Bill, and we're so very glad to be back today because this is our first day back after, I think, a 12 or 13 week hiatus, if you would say. And we've missed you so very much, but we're glad that you took the time and made the time and the plans to be with us on this beautiful day in the city of Detroit. It is 73 degrees on the east side of Detroit. I don't know about on the west side, but on the east side, and that is the temperature. And with that, we would like to say hello to Joanne Tosin Fuller. Good afternoon, Joanne. How are you doing?
Good afternoon. So good to be here. Yes,
and it's so good to see you. And hello, Justin. What's up?
What up, yo? What's going on? Good people. Good people.
Hi.
We're great. And how are you doing?
Hey, man, I am glad to be alive.
Amen.
Mama used to say, I'm
Amen.
glad. Well, Mama still say, I'm glad to be in the land of the living, right?
How about that?
I am glad.
Shaking our heads and moving our arms and all that good stuff.
Oh, yes.
That's it.
So, how have you all been teased by these last 2 summer days? What did you all do?
Go ahead, Joanne.
Tease is the right word. I'm telling you. Well, the past few weeks we've been teased.
Yes, we have.
On and off, but it's just been beautiful. Well, yesterday we had the end of our revival, so we had dinner and everything at church, and so I was in the kitchen the whole time. Yeah, baking.
Okay, what you cook?
Well, this time we had people donate. Members cook because it was about 300 people.
Wow.
So I baked a whole bunch of cookies, and chicken salad. And so that's all I did. That was my assignment.
Okay.
I wasn't in charge.
How many dozen cookies did you bake, Joanne?
Oh, I did over 200 cookies, all different flavors.
What?
Yeah. So that's just I'm getting ready to get into the cookie business for real.
Joanne's Jewels.
All right now, I was trying to think of a name.
That's a name. That's a name.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I got a chance to run outside and take in some of the sunshine yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Today was more relaxed and sit out on the patio and just
catch
take
your
in
breath.
some of the sun today too. That was just
I feel
beautiful.
Yeah. Justin, what about you, man?
I enjoyed the last 2 days. I really have. My birthday, was the 20th. So my family and friends celebrated me this weekend. So that was good. That was really cool. Yesterday, they gave me a brunch at David's house. You know David.
All right.
Yep, they gave us a brunch at David's house, and so we had fried catfish, we had fried chicken, we had pancakes and grits. It was a really good time. We played some games, some Uno and different things like that, but it was a real intimate setting. And they bought me gifts and showered me with love. So I was thankful and appreciative. And then we went axe throwing in the evening. Yeah, it was my first experience. It was actually the first experience for everybody because I was like, I want to do something different, something different. And so we found this place, Grossbeck and Hall Road area.
Wow.
I think it's called Total Axe or something like that. And so they give you the instructions and, have it behind your head and voila, try to get that bullseye. So not too much outside, but just feeling the love over the last 2 days. And of course, today being Sunday, I preached today at my church. And and it was just really, 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 really good. Today was just really, really good. And
really, 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 really,
it was really,
right.
really, really
and with a smile.
It was really good. I mean, God always moves for sure, but messages like today is one of the ones that I think in such a way that nobody will ever forget. It was one of those. So
now, were you still doing that series that you had started, or had you moved into
So I ended the series. So we've been in a series called Mixed Emotions, and today was the finale of that series. Yeah.
Can you say one thing that you've learned
Mm-hmm.
from the series, even though that you were teaching and preaching?
Wow. I think something that I learned from this series of mixed emotions is that a lot of times we shun away mixed emotions. You know, we shun them away, and we act like that we're not human. We try to be superhuman.
Mm-hmm.
But even Jesus himself, you know what I mean, before he was crucified, was vexed with so much mixed emotions that he actually asked God, "Is there another way? Can you take this cup from me?" He embraced his emotion. Not only did he embrace it, but he gave it over to God. He told him exactly how he was feeling, And so I think I've learned that, that it's okay to be, we're human. We're going to feel stuff. You know what I mean? And stop trying to be just so solid, and stop trying to be so unshakable. And it's okay that your feelings get hurt sometimes. It's okay to be disappointed sometimes. It's human nature. It's human
I'm
nature.
laughing. Oh, I'm laughing because wow, I need it today because I went through
Mm,
that exact same thing yesterday, Justin. Thank you.
yeah.
I'm telling you, I did, and trying to be strong and trying to be, you
Mm-hmm.
know, ain't nobody gonna hurt my feelings, but my
It's
feelings got hurt. They
yeah.
did. They really did get hurt yesterday, and
And
so.
it's the denial in how we feel, where the enemy is able to come in and is able to plant seeds
Yes.
of discord, when we're dishonest with ourselves, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's okay to have feelings, just don't let them have
That's
you.
true.
The Bible
Right.
says, be angry and sin not, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I'm okay. And something hurt my feelings, I'm not gonna just be, I'm a man, you know what I mean? Like,
Exactly.
wait, that was uncomfortable. I didn't like that. That hurt
Mm-hmm.
I'm bothered by that, and just
Mm-hmm.
to be honest with myself about how I feel, instead of trying to always be tough or trying to always be strong. So I think that's what I learned from it, is that it's okay to feel.
And I think, when we accept that realization, we become healthier in our minds, in our relationships,
Yeah,
and with how we deal with ourselves, because that's the first person we have to be true to, would
yeah,
be us.
yeah.
Being able to dress, even as Joanne just said, something happened yesterday and it's the day after. She just acknowledged, look, my feelings were hurt
Hmm.
and I didn't like it, and now I can move on, or now I can deal with however this is making me feel. And
Yeah,
so often we don't do that. We,
That's
we we
right.
put up the front like, oh, I know
yeah.
you're talking to me
And
because
and I
I
And I don't
get
like to be
them.
I don't like to cause confusion. I don't like to
Yes.
be in the midst of confusion. I don't
Mm-hmm.
like. So I do. I know I do. I squash and like, okay, hold
Yeah.
on.
And I think that a lot of times we do that, at least in my life, I'll be the example, is because we haven't found the right platform to express, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it's good you need to express. You need to acknowledge how you feel. But we all see people on Facebook who be just airing out their dirty laundry. Like
Right.
Yes.
it's like, whoa, dude, like you trying to make me depressed from your status.
Go talk. You need to go
So
talk to
it's the
somebody.
it's the it's the right mindset, but the wrong platform.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like it's finding that platform, whether it's within yourself, whether it's within your spouse, it's finding that platform to be able to say like, "Hey, I'm not okay." Like,
Mm-hmm.
"Hey, that did hurt my feelings."
Mm-hmm.
And once you acknowledge it, then you're set to heal from it. But if you haven't acknowledged that it even hurts you, how can you heal from it?
Right.
Yeah,
You
That's
can't
right.
process it.
That's right.
You
yeah.
definitely. I had an interesting uh, interaction with a nonprofit organization here in the city,
Mm-hmm.
and they were supposed to do something and they didn't do it, and because of them not doing it, I had to bear the responsibility
Mm-hmm.
of what they said they would do.
Mm-hmm.
And initially I took it and I said, okay, and I was to myself, I wasn't hurt by it, but I was angered
Mm-hmm.
by that, because now I'm thinking, okay, you're supposed to be doing good work in the community and you're reneging on something that you said you would do.
Mm-hmm.
And so I said, well, I'm just gonna let it go and just sweep it under the rug. And then I said, no, I'm not. And I made a phone call and I left a message. And of course, my message instantly got a return call. And it wasn't a dirty message, but I expressed to them, I said, well, I'm very taken with the lack of integrity of this nonprofit organization. And so the lady called back, and when I knew that what I said was true, is how she was trying to talk over me, and she was trying to cast blame to me. And I didn't even get upset because I felt that I had did what I needed to do in terms of letting them know in a professional way.
Yeah.
That this is not right. And I'm not going to just hold on to this and think about, I had to do this and had to pick up their slack. I said it. They were able to voice their opinion. They confirmed that they're a louse, and we just moved on. You know, but it's important. It's important that we do have the platform and know the platform whenever we should express our emotions, to whom we should express them.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That's so true.
It is so, and I think it's a great thing to be able to learn this lesson, Joanne and Justin, and to be able to apply it to our lives so that we can live a better, enriched life.
Exactly.
And be able to share with other people.
Yeah.
You know, because if we're not learning ourselves, and I don't care what our demographic may be or what our age is, if we're not constantly learning, then we're dying on the vine.
That's true.
So true. We're dying on the vine. Yes. But we want to welcome everybody that you're more than welcome to join in with what we're going to talk about. Joanne is going to let us know in a couple of minutes what our conversation will be, and you have the opportunity of joining in. You can join in the chat, and we can put up your comments or your questions, and just be part of the conversation. I'm talking to. And with that, Joanne, I'm gonna turn it over to you.
Yes. So, well, first of all, we have to say happy anniversary.
How about that?
To
Yes.
1 year anniversary.
I know.
Rufus, I'm telling you, this was your brainstorm. This was your vision.
How about
I'm just
that?
happy to be a part of it, and I just appreciate you thinking of me when you had the vision. I really, really do. I think we're such a good team.
I do too. I do too. And it's so interesting because everyone says whenever if I talk to them on the phone or run across, they will say something that either Justin said or Joanne said, and it's like, wow, just the combination of the three with all of those various opinions, and you all don't even shout at each other or get mad at each other. I said we would if they were paying us. I said we'll put on the show.
What you say? How do you want me to
act? We'll turn it up and out. But it is it's a great opportunity to learn from experienced parent, a new parent, just how we interpret everything, how we process the same thing differently, and then share it and be able to have a forum to discuss it. So yes.
And it's okay to have a difference of opinion.
Yeah,
it really is okay.
I say all the time, and I've made this a common Facebook status. I know you've liked it before, but opinion doesn't make you right. It doesn't make you wrong. It makes you human.
That's it.
And people don't understand that. Like we're supposed no, we don't have to think alike. And it's good that we don't, because that means our thinking is always being challenged, which is a good thing, because it causes us to think more. You know what I mean? So,
yes.
Yeah.
And think outside the box sometime, and not just take our own.
Exactly.
And think that's the law, because some people do. Some people do. That their opinion is always right.
Right.
So it opens you, like you said, it just helps you grow. It really does.
It
should help you grow.
It should help you grow.
Way. Yeah.
It should help you grow.
Yes.
Justin, I think I saw something on your one of your Facebook posts. You said this was the last of the 20s. Was that
Yes,
you
the
that said that?
last of my 20s. God has blessed me to see 29 years of life as of this Wednesday. So I'm just I don't time flies, man. It's kind of crazy. Like, dang, I'm about to be 30, but it's like, wow, but I'm happy. Like I'm embracing it. I'm not, we'd be like, oh, I'm 30 again, I'm 30. Like, no, I'm if I'm 35, I'm 35. And I'm great, I'm glad. Like, and I think
Just
that
wait. Just
yeah,
wait.
like I'm not afraid of growing old. I
Okay,
appreciate that,
that's
because
good.
the longer the older I'm, mom always said that you're gonna be a lot older than you are younger. So I appreciate that. So yeah, I'm excited about this chapter of my life. And I feel like since probably like around 21, it's been grind season for me. And I just been
Okay.
grinding my gears, whether it was getting myself together, and it was like, getting married, starting a family and different things like that. So I'm still in this grind season, and I think that I'm getting ready to turn a corner.
Of
I got
course.
some things that'll be ending, and some things that will be, coming to head this year. And I think I'm gonna be in a sweet spot, in my life, where I can just kind of sit back and just, enjoy. So yeah, I'm excited, and just
I
God
love
bless
it.
you. I'm telling you.
I
Just
know
bless
that's
you.
right.
You and your family. Just God bless you.
Thank you,
Yeah.
thank you,
Like,
thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
yes, yes. So since we've been away for a little bit, so much has gone on since
Has
we've been away. Oh my goodness.
yeah.
Between, Judge Jackson and wait a minute, I probably need to just stop right there. That could be a couple of shows for me at least. That could be because I had to turn it off for a second there because I'm like, ooh, just take me to Washington, somebody. Just take me there so I can give them a few words of
of your experience. Give me some of your piece of your
Mhm.
mind. So, for those who may not know
I mean,
what you're
it was
talking
just
about, just
yeah
give us a little history, Joanne.
about well, she was being nominated for the Supreme Court,
Yes.
and just the audacity of
Mm-hmm.
these people to question. First, before she even came up, they were questioning who she was, and they knew who she was. She had been in this position. She had been at the White House. She had been there for so many. I mean,
Mhm.
I don't know how many times before. So they knew who she was.
Right. Very
So now you're
familiar.
gonna question, act like you don't know who she is and her
Mm-hmm.
credentials.
Mm-hmm.
And then even through the process, the disrespect, the questions that they ask her. And I give it to her. And I know it was God in her that kept her level,
Yes.
that kept her grounded,
Mm-hmm.
that kept her. But we know some of those looks though too, because
Yes,
those
we do.
eyes spoke 1,000 words
Yes.
sometimes. But she
Yeah,
kept, and I really respect that of her, that
yeah,
she stayed grounded.
Mm-hmm.
But they
yeah.
were so disrespectful. Some of the questions and some of the comments, and oh my goodness, I couldn't believe it.
I couldn't either.
I guess so. I guess I have a different opinion on it.
Okay.
I think that when you are, yes, I feel like, it's a black woman, different things like that. I feel like, people ask questions, whatever. But I think that when you are and you get ready to sit in the seat, that is so honorable. That
Mm-hmm.
is so, that you literally you have the ability to really interpret law. You know what I mean? Like, you literally what you say. I mean,
And
you
make
know,
law.
they
Mm-hmm.
And
right.
make
I mean,
law.
it's just it's so impeccable of the responsibility that to walk in that seat. So I don't want a process, black, white, yellow. I don't want a process that gives credit to, what you have done or whatever. Like, no, I want to get down to the nitty gritty. So it's like I'm okay with scalding and asking questions, because if you're fit for the seat, you're gonna have the wherewithal to be able to answer it. You're going to have the know-it-all to be able to conduct yourself. You're going to be like, to me, it. So I don't see it as like, I just don't see it necessarily as a bad thing. I just see it that if you sit in that seat, you gotta be able to take the heat. And if you can't take the heat, then get out the kitchen. It ain't for you. And so I guess that's my perspective or my outlook on it, whatever. And a lot of times, I think what we got to understand is that even though they may have known who she was, but the world was watching. And before then, I had never, heard of her. I didn't know her
Oh,
history. I didn't
okay.
know her track record, or I didn't really know nothing about her. So in the process, I was able to, learn about her and see what she's about and different things like that. So like I said, I know that it can feel like this, especially when I feel like we have vested interests, right? She's about to make history. Like, you know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Let make history. I think it's easy to to have a heart and to, I don't know, feel empathy or sympathy for the scalding that she endured to sit in that seat, whatever. But become an ordained minister, you had to sit in front of these pastors and you had to answer all of this stuff about the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Like you had to know your word. So
No, that's
it's
right.
like
That's true.
I think it's appropriate. I think what's not appropriate is that we've televised things that are meant to be in closed doors, or what say, or what have you. The calling that you go through, the question that you go through when you being ordained is not in front of the congregations, in the office with the people. You know what I mean? So the fact that it's broadcasted is more of
The
I think,
disrespect or the
not
Yeah. Yeah.
disrespect, but it
But
can be perceived as disrespectful.
okay.
But if somebody's about to sit in this seat, you want them to turn over you want to get down into the event. You know what I'm saying? Like
into the nitty gritty.
in
I
the
and
nitty
I and
gritty.
I agree. I agree.
You want to know. It's just, it's embarrassing because they could ask questions that you may feel uncomfortable asking, knowing that the world is watching. But it's like, we need to know. You know what I mean? So it's like I get it, I get it, but it's like I some processes, I just think that you got to be like the police academy. You know what I mean? Police academy was tough. These people in your face, breath stink, spitting on you. You know what I'm saying?
Pre-COVID.
Calling you out your name. Belittling you to all this other stuff. I don't want to get too deep, but if you can't take that, then you can't take the person who just called you because somebody was beating the crap out of her, and now that you're taking her boyfriend to jail, now they spitting on you and calling you everything out your. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's
Yes.
you
I
you
do.
you
I
can't you
do. I
can't
understand
you
that.
can't you can't take that heat if you can't take if you and this is the mentality that we preach in the police academy, is that if you can't handle yourself and control chaos, you can't handle real chaos. You know what I mean? It's a controlled setting.
Yes, it
It's fiction.
is.
You see what I'm saying? It's a control. So if
Yeah.
you can't keep your bearings in this, then I can't trust you out there.
And
So
I hear what you're saying, and I
mhm.
do agree that especially when it comes to the Supreme Court, and that's a lifetime position, which I
Yeah.
don't agree with. But anyway, but
I
that's a
don't either. I
lifetime
don't either.
position.
I don't agree with that either.
I don't agree with it. But and I do understand the heat. But
Mhm.
this was blatant disrespect,
Mhm.
and not because she was a black woman and this made history, because and before when Biden said he was going to appoint her, well,
Mhm.
he did say the first black woman. So they jumped on the bandwagon on that part just alone by itself,
Mhm.
that we don't need no black woman. And
Right.
then the questions that they would not even allow the past two people that they appointed, the one that the Trump appointed, they wouldn't even
Mhm.
allow some of those questions to be asked.
So
They
what
would not
question?
allow them. And even some of the things that came up, like the last about his infidelities and all that kind of stuff, they wanted to sweep it under the rug. And a lot of the people had already, especially the Republicans, they had already made up their minds that no, I'm not voting for her, period. Whether
Mhm.
she's qualified or not. Those were their statements. Whether she's qualified or not, I'm not voting for her
Mhm.
to be. And so it was only actually, and what made her win was only two Republicans that voted for her.
Mhm.
But it was just you, and it's not because I mean I understand the heat. I understand you got to take it. My husband is a retired police officer, so I understand that. I understand. My dad was a minister. I understand the heat that they can get from parishioners, from people that especially when they feel like you're not. I understand. I understand the heat that I have taken.
Right.
But this was different.
Yeah.
It
The
was
tone.
different. The whole tone, it was different. And everybody knew it was different. But yeah, but she did it. She took the heat.
She
Hey,
took the
she
heat.
took the heat. I'm proud of I would be proud of her or anybody who took that heat because she took it.
She took it. And what's interesting now that people have really not thought about is that now that this is over, and now that she has clearly been nominated and won this position, we'll never hear from them again. In terms of other than the Supreme Court ruled ABCD, we won't be in the courtroom. We won't. We. It would be interesting if we could be there to see some of to see the process of other judges that have sat. And take, for instance, Clarence Thomas. Now, we've heard a lot of backlash on things that he's voted for that are questionable to some people. But once they get in that courtroom, it's almost like out of sight, out of mind. And like you said, that these are lifetime appointments. I didn't realize that the one guy that I think just died, maybe whose seat is she replacing?
He's retiring.
He's
He's
retiring.
retiring.
How many years he's been a judge in the Supreme Court? So fortunately, it's over. And we'll be able to see, but in terms of her rulings, especially where she is mentally and how fair she is to the people or as a whole. I do believe so.
And one thing I did appreciate that because they really questioned her on a lot of her rulings. And so one thing I did appreciate her say was that every person that comes in, you can't just rule across the board, basically.
Right.
And so, and because it was this one ruling that, and I'm trying to bring it back to mind, and it was about a young person who, I don't know if he was a rapist, I forget, but they really honed in on her on that. And she was like, she had to make some decisions that you have to look at. And that's, to me, that's a judge, period. That you look at the whole picture. You look at every, even though they might have seems like they might have committed the same crime, that you have to look at each one differently. Because I guess this guy somehow got off a little easier than some others. So they were trying to tell her, were you condoning his actions and you were this? And she was like, no, like I told you 50 times before, I had to look at the situation and the circumstances. But they really tried to make that one case like she didn't know what she was doing.
Okay.
They really did. Yeah. Yeah, but I am, and it does make history, especially for we've had the black males,
yes,
and I really I appreciate that, I really do. But as a female and a black female, I'm proud of her for
for sure,
for the stand and for getting this position. And then how her family just rallied around her and
to support her.
Yeah,
definitely.
to support her.
Yes.
To support her. Which you also brought up a name that's been in the news a lot, Clarence Thomas and his wife.
Yeah.
With her shenanigans.
Yes.
And the stuff that's coming out about her and how she's almost like running the White House.
Isn't that something?
When Trump was in.
When Trump was there. And I didn't realize she had such a heavy presence.
Well, she's a Bush. That's how Clarence Thomas really kind of got in. Because she's a Bush.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, she's a Bush. And she came in, he got in under the Bush
administration. Regime. Yes, he did. Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, which is, it's sad. It's really sad.
It's interesting how the game and the world of politics and politrics, pan
Mhm.
out. It's always connected with something
Mhm.
somewhere.
Right, right.
Definitely. So
Yeah.
what else did you see in the stories, Joanne?
What else? This is
I saw
well, you
Justin
know,
over there.
Now I feel like we got to talk about um, this whole Chris Rock, Will Smith
yes.
thing.
Yes.
Like I feel like we
I was trying
gotta
to figure out how to finagle into that.
we gotta we gotta talk about that. I mean, that was. I mean, everybody, it was war on Ukraine, and for 48 hours, the world forgot about Ukraine.
Ukraine, didn't they though?
I
You
mean,
who?
Didn't they though?
right.
And you know what? I was watching it, and at first I thought it was staged
Mhm.
Hmm.
because it looked like his hand didn't even. It looked like Chris Rock's head. When they acted,
Just
especially in the
turned.
old movies, it
Hmm.
turned and went before his hand hit. And I'm like, and so I'm sitting there watching. I'm like, did that just happen? Or they staged that? Why they staged that? Because then even when he turned and walked away, if it looked like he was trying to look mean, but then it looked like he had a smirk, and then it looked like, and I'm like, wait a minute, that's not real. That just didn't happen. But oh,
what
what do you
Joanne,
think? What do you
as a
think?
woman, um, and viewing the reaction or the behavior of his wife, Jada Pickett Smith, how would you have what did you see just in her behavior as all of prior to the slap, but after the joke?
Well, you saw where he was laughing.
Yeah.
And then the camera went to her, and she had this like, no, he didn't. You could tell she really didn't appreciate. You could
Right.
tell she didn't. Um, and so I wonder if he saw her face because she was sitting to the side of him. She wasn't
Mm-hmm.
sitting, So I'm wondering if he saw her face, and that's what made him react the way he
React.
I
did,
think
because
so.
she wasn't. You could tell she wasn't really happy
Right.
with the joke. Um,
It was almost if he looked at her and seen her reaction, and then that's what made
right,
it, from my perspective, yeah.
right, yeah, because he was laughing.
He, heartily.
Yeah.
Did you think as his did she display after the look and then Will got caught up into his emotions, Justin.
Yeah.
Um, was
Wrong
she
platform.
did it right wrong platform? Did she seem like a wife that loves her husband from that perspective, from a woman's perspective, when you know how a woman loves their husband, and usually they're going to do things to say, now baby, that are you sure you want to do that? And what I saw, she just was sitting there. So could that be interpreted that she doesn't
It
love
could be
him?
interpreted because even when the other people came to talk to him, from what they showed, now we don't know everything that went on behind
Mm-hmm.
scenes, but from what they showed, she was nowhere around. And so
Interesting.
for me, I would not have wanted my husband to do that. Now, if you want to deal with it, okay, there's a time, like you said, Justin, there's a platform, there's a time and place for you if you have some issues. But I think this goes way back to something else. I don't think it was
Has
just
to.
about
Yeah.
that night.
It has to.
Yeah.
Um,
But I was surprised not seeing her being at his side, or at least
More
support,
attentive?
it's gonna be okay, or even to see him get up. Well, then maybe she didn't know what he was. I don't know, but it
That could
just
be.
seems like. And then she threw him under the bus afterwards. So
That's what really
it
got my
shows you that there's
attention.
some
now
issues
I didn't
there
hear
going on.
what was that? What was the under the bus? What did she do?
A few days after she came out and said, well, I don't condone what he did. I didn't appreciate what that wasn't the right um what how did she
Mhm.
put it? That wasn't the right um
Oh, okay.
time, and so basically it's like you
She
should have
held him
just kept
accountable
quiet.
for his actions.
And she said, "I don't need a man. I don't need him fighting my battles."
So
Mm,
to me she just kind of,
yeah. See, I, I
I
don't
don't
know.
know. I don't
I
know.
don't
I
know.
don't know.
I think that, and it was crazy because the next Sunday I was actually starting the series Mixed Emotion, so it played out really well. But obviously there was some festering. Now they're at the out. Let's put it in context. They're at the Oscars,
Mm-hmm.
which the hosts of the Oscars always tell jokes and they always joke on people. Will Smith is an actor. Jada is an actor. They've both been in movies and understand show business to this capacity. So the
Yes.
fact that, and it's not the first time that Chris Rock has cracked on Jada. The
Right.
joke wasn't funny. G.I. Jane was the joke. It was not funny. But if you go look at G.I. Jane, it's a bald headed female, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Debbie Moore, yeah.
Um, so I don't think the joke was harsh. I think Chris Rock was doing his job. He was there to be funny or to try to be,
Or try.
or try to be.
Yes.
And people talk about, I don't have alopecia. I got a bald head, natural. Just got a bald head. But from my opinion and perspective, like I don't. I just think that Will Smith was so out of order. I felt like it was so disrespectful. I felt like it was just so out of pocket. I felt like if you felt like as a man that you had to stand up for your woman in that moment, if you felt like that was your platform, then I felt like getting up and just yelling, "Keep my wife's name" on live TV would have been enough.
Yeah.
Yes, it would.
It would have been enough because Crick would have been like, "Oh, well, then, all right, cool." Like that would have been enough. But to go on stage, doing and smack somebody is just
And
utterly ridiculous.
smack
That's
somebody.
And,
ridiculous. That was
and
so out of, and
yeah,
and it could have been. I mean, because just so you know, because the time, that's what they call premeditated.
right. I
Because
mean,
the
right,
time it takes you to get up and walk,
And walk across.
your senses.
right.
Yes.
And that's the thing. Like here locally in St. Clair Shores, there's a bar, and the guy was coming in with his girl, and a dude was probably standing there half drunk, said something to the girl, or said something to the guy. We don't know, but the guy ended up sucker punching the guy who said something to his girl. The guy fell out on the ground, and actually a couple of days later, he passed. He died.
Oh.
Yeah,
Mm.
true story. So when I put that in perspective of that, like you just don't know what people are going through, and a hit to the face in the wrong angle could have snapped the neck, could have snapped the artery. Like he literally could have killed this guy over a joke, over
Over a
like
joke.
how's that serious? But what it shows is, but think about what Will Smith has had to endure with Jada, the public entanglement that she put out. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
Being the butt of
Right.
many jokes. And I think not dealing with those emotions and not being honest with yourself and dealing with them, it causes these eruptions. And I think that was a boiling point of a human being having a human experience.
Right.
Um, and I don't condone it. And I told everybody who,
No.
I saw many of stuff like, "Oh, y'all talk about what y'all do." I was like, I don't need to go smack nobody for my
No.
wife.
That was that
It's a,
that
it's
did
a
not show love for me
love.
as a wife.
Now, it's a
That, or as a
different,
woman, that did not show that he loved me.
Right.
yeah,
It just, that was to me out of, that just shows it for me. It showed that he had no control over
yeah. Now
himself at
it's a
that
difference
time.
if somebody's physically hurting my wife.
Right.
You know
Not
what I'm
being
saying? Or
right.
trying to,
Or trying
or
to.
trying to. That's something different. You know what I
Right.
mean? But
Right.
over what you said, when what bill do Chris Rock pay for Will Smith and Jada? What final say did he have in they like
In
how
the house. Mm-hmm.
And so I told people, this is my spot. I said, if you think that what Will Smith did was okay, then every gang violence that's based off retaliation, you agree with. So
Right.
everybody that's been murdered and killed and shot or shot at, you agree with that behavior because that was simply a form of retaliation to
Right.
getting back over somebody over what they said.
Yeah. And like
Yeah,
I said, I think it's just something that's been building up. And I think
had
this
to.
is something even with Chris Rock and Will, something's been building up between them. Something. I don't think it was just
The
about
first
this
incident.
joke.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't believe that. not to have that kind of response. I really don't.
Right.
Yeah.
Because that last joke he told about her at the other Oscars was far funnier when Jada was talking, when she was saying that we're picketing the
Mhm.
Oscars. Now that was funny.
That was right.
Now that was really funny. And I could see how Will never had a chance or maybe didn't address that. And then he hears Chris again talking about his wife.
Mm-hmm.
And he just I'm gonna slap you from the old and the new.
Right. Exactly.
But I think it would have
So,
been hilarious had Chris realized that he was about to hit him and just started running around the stage.
now that would have been funny.
That would have been funny.
Nah, he would have got talked about. He stood there like grown man. And he took that one. He
He
took it.
did, and I really respect how he handled himself,
I do
though,
too.
Chris. I
I
really
did
do
too.
respect how he handled himself. So, what do you
Because the show
think
could have been
about
over
the?
right there.
Yes.
For some people, you just never know.
Right. You never
You
know.
never know. So, what do you think about the backlash or the punishment or however you that Will is getting? Do you think it's over? Some people think it's overkill, like 10 years he's banned from the Oscars, and what do you think?
Well, I really don't think it's an overkill.
Yeah,
I mean, because he still has an opportunity to act and be nominated for an Oscar. So what's not going to a party or
Right.
going to a meeting?
That
At
you've been
first,
to before.
I can
it's
stay at home and watch
right.
TV.
He can stay at home and have a party at his house. Now, so I just don't think that was such a serious, because it hasn't ended his career. It may have, he may not be in the know now about what's going on in terms of movies or whatever else that the Academy does.
Right.
But I think he got off pretty easy. 10 years. 10, we all know 10 years will zoom by.
Oh my goodness.
But we ain't talking about jail. We talking about not going to a park. Come on now.
Thank
Right.
you.
I
That
know.
ain't punishment.
Thank you.
I know.
You can't be on
And especially
TV
if I can
10
watch
years.
on TV if I want to.
Exactly. Now you can't come to the brunch luncheon.
No after party.
No after
Can't
parties.
sit in the studio.
No
Wow.
meetings.
Look, I
Okay.
mean, I don't have to get dressed up. Hey.
Right. And I can be at home and then say, come over here after it's over.
Yeah.
Now, but what I
And
do.
let's just be real.
Okay.
He just froze.
He just froze.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I'm like, hey, whatever.
I did see where there was a write-up that this may be an opportunity for smaller budget films to attract him to come in and work to rebuild him, as well as to boost whatever project they may be working on, because he I don't think that he's going to be so easily able to just go right back into
right, because I know he's lost a couple of they've talked about 2 or 3 projects that he's lost already. So like you said, it's not going to be easy. But,
and to be honest, as a black guy, Will Smith in Hollywood did very well.
yes.
And we all have to be real about it. That industry will let you in, or will keep you out.
That's right. That's right.
And to have an opportunity to be able to be in a position should bring along some type of learned respect.
Yes.
And this agency may not feel that he appreciated this opportunity.
Right.
So that fallout goes to other producers and directors. And
that's right. And I just, for me, I just hated that it was, for lack of a better term, this is my term, this was the Black Oscar night.
Yes.
That's what bothered me the most.
Yes.
Look, they ain't nobody paying me for nothing. They're not.
I know.
They have it. But that's what bothered me the most. The producer was black, the host, it just But hey, life goes on. There's a
It
lot of more
does.
serious stuff going on in this world.
Exactly. And it really was it really is a lesson for all of us in how we should conduct ourselves
Yes.
in when we're given valued opportunities.
Yes.
You
Yes.
know what I
Yes.
mean?
And we don't
When you
realize how
think
blessed we are. We don't
how blessed
realize
we
it.
are,
Yeah,
and
so true.
because we all have been given opportunities in certain things. It may not be acting or it may not be into the quote unquote Hollywood, but uh, you given opportunities to go and be hired by clients to make their events beautiful, and then you go and cut up with one of the guests.
No.
Uh,
Mm-mm.
they're going to look at you crazy, even though they're paying you. But they're thinking, well, we've given this her company this chance, and or it has for whatever reason it has not lived up to your expertise and the quality of your work, and they'll think, well, we're not going to do that anymore.
Right. Right.
So when we get these opportunities, and some may get them sparingly, and some may get them more often than others. But we have to be able to appreciate them,
Yes.
and to appreciate us being in a position of that environment or of that chance to shine.
Right.
You know,
Right.
and
Which, like
it's
I said, there's so many. They've been blessed, but there's so many other serious things going on in this world. And we only have a few minutes left.
mhm,
But even, I mean, look at the war in Ukraine. Look at Russia. Look at it's just
unreal.
it's
And Justin,
unreal.
I was saying, I said, and this was ignorant because I didn't know, and I
Mm.
spoke before I learned. I said, well, in Ukraine, I said, well, why don't they just leave? And so I said, well, let me do some research on it.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was 44 million people in Ukraine. Because when they talk about Ukraine, they talk about it as if
Like it's this little
it's a
tiny.
little city. And
Mhm.
like it's Ukraine, then it's Russia, and then this the other country on the other side of them, and they're just sandwiched in maybe 50,000 people wandering around or doing whatever they're. I said 44 million.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
had no idea,
A
yeah.
lot of
no
people.
idea, and that's when it really hit me. And then I read about, I was kind of familiar from Ukraine because I can remember them being part of what is that we used to do in church?
USSR, US. Uh,
Read the but in the mission books, Joanne,
oh, okay.
reading about it there. Justin and the Adventists, we used to do something like the mission story,
Right.
and it would be a book and talk about various countries. And even at that point, when they spoke of Ukraine, it wasn't in a big way. Just
Because I
so
think back
I
then
do a
weren't
little
they part of the was it
Yeah, they were.
USSR or
They
US?
was like they was once part like with Russia. Like they was once.
right.
Right. They were all
Yeah,
then
They
they
were all
separated,
connected together.
right.
and that's why Putin is trying to take it over
Trying
again
to
or
take it back.
something.
Exactly.
Yeah, take it back. So,
Yeah.
Exactly.
but they're fighting. They are fighting.
They
Oh my
are.
goodness. And you know what? And they never believed. Like a lot of them said, they didn't. A lot of them didn't leave because they really didn't believe that he would do that.
He would do that.
That he would literally come in and just.
Yeah, it's sad, but I don't advocate for war, and I
Right.
really don't advocate for the United States poking their nose in places where it does not need to be, like Afghanistan and a few other places.
Hmm.
But this is different. This is different for me, and I think that if you allow Putin to do this, then what's going to stop other people from doing it as
To
well?
other places.
Right.
So I think the United States needs to get involved more than just sending help, but they need to dethrone
Hmm.
Putin because these are war crimes that he is committing.
Well, and
It's
I think, yeah, I think they are. It's just, nobody has said it. I'm just thinking because I think
mm,
as Biden keeps saying, he is a war criminal. He keeps saying that lately.
Mhm.
These are war crimes. He's a war criminal. I just have this feeling that they're building this up to something. And then they
Yeah.
already said there's a bounty out on Putin because nobody right now knows where he is.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just wondering if we're about to, or people,
Hey, I feel like it shouldn't be just the United States, though. I feel like this needs to be a joint thing. This is
Concerted
oh
measure.
yeah, it's got to be a joint
Yes.
effort.
this is
It's
a
got
It would
common
have to
sense.
be.
it has to
It
be a
has to
joint
be
effort.
it has to be Europe. It has to be everybody saying, hey,
This is
because
what we're not going to tolerate.
right, because if Canada decide to push back this way, you know what I mean? What do you think's
Hello?
gonna happen?
We're going to get pushed back.
You
But I
think?
think, all these countries are
You don't think we would push back?
Oh, you said we would. I thought you said we would get pushed back.
We would push back.
We
for
would.
sure.
You know what? Canada would become a part of the United States at that
Yes.
point. It would become a part of the
Like,
United
sorry,
States.
Queen.
Like, yeah, you're done. This is ours now, and it's our fault. You know. So, and probably, like, I don't know. I found this out very interestingly. I found this out that the reason why you don't see any warships along the Detroit River, every now and then you may see them for like a weekend or something like that.
Uh-huh.
But the United States has a treaty with Canada that they won't put warships on there in fear that we'll try to overthrow them. You know what I mean? But I'm pretty sure if we start lining up warships on Detroit River for Canada gonna be like, hey,
What
Hey,
y'all
hey.
doing?
it's gonna be a thing. So I think that we've given this man too much power. We've letting him do too much, and he needs to be. Now, I don't know who needs to be put in place. I don't know, what that has to happen. And I don't think the United States should get involved in that capacity as far as picking a leader for over there. But I think that we all need to agree that what he's doing, invading Ukraine and displacing people and blowing up nursing homes and police stations and
What
all
in the
And
world?
children's
and children is how did no it's
Who
time.
does
that's
that?
demonic.
It's,
That's demonic.
and it's
That's
time for
demonic.
him
Yes, it
to
is.
To
go.
go.
So my and just having this discussion with some people. So, and correct me if I'm wrong because I really don't know.
Mhm.
The reason that like France and all of we haven't joined in with Ukraine or actually are fighting with them is because Ukraine is not a part of NATO. And so there's
Correct.
a process that they have to go through. That's why they couldn't jump in right away. There's a process that they have to go through. That's why we didn't jump in right away because there's a
Yeah.
process or something that they have to go through. There's steps because they weren't
Right.
part of NATO.
Right, exactly. So NATO is basically an organization that's the European countries, United States, a bunch of countries that has agreed to come to each other's alliance if these things happen. And they're not a part of that. Now, why they haven't become a part of that? Because that shouldn't
Well,
have
they
been
declined it, they said.
Right. So now it's like, okay, you kind of made this bed. Now you don't have to lay in it. But I think that they're going to get involved is because the European countries are right there. So if Putin get Ukraine, what's going to stop him from, from going further?
Keep moving.
Right. So I think it's in, the European countries in their best interest to keep Putin out because you become next door neighbors to him, then
watch out
because
for real.
Obviously treaties and war crimes and stuff like that doesn't matter. So I think they're gonna have to put that aside and say that somebody needs help. We can help them, and we need to help, and it's in their best.
And it looks like that's what they're doing because like we're not the only ones. France was, they were helping Europe, they were helping them, and so it just seems like, and you can, as I'm listening and watching, you can see that there's a process that's going on. So that's why that's because my first question was, how come NATO just done going in and say, look, we all banding together and we just gonna go in there and take
right.
and that's when I my trying to get my understanding of why, but there is but other countries,
they don't have enough because they've lost. They miss, and this I only know this from news reports. So if it could be true, not true, from what I've heard and seen, they underestimated Ukraine. They thought this was going to be just a little cupcake thing, and they have
Yes.
lost hundreds of thousands of men in this. So when you add NATO, when you add the United States, when you add different powers, they're not going to be able to stand a
Yeah.
chance because Ukraine is keeping them at bay, by themselves right now. So
I mean, they said they showed where people are coming out of their houses with their guns, shooting down Russian soldiers,
mm,
and
I
just
know.
it's just and so now they're saying even Russian military, because Putin just got a new general. Is that right,
Hmm.
general?
mm,
And so they said the Russian military is they're like down and out in the dumps. They're like
mm,
they're so it's they because they couldn't believe what you said, Justin. They
mhm.
could not believe that the Ukraine is fighting back the way they're fighting
Yeah,
back.
Hmm.
yeah.
That they're
And it's
willing.
over pride. What is it? What is it over? Because you once had it and you no longer had it no more. Like it's not like there's some super resources. It ain't like you trying
Thank
to
you.
like
Thank
something's
you.
going
That
on there.
yeah. What's there?
The conditions. It's
Yeah.
pure pride, and this is like when people. This is the envelope, right? So you got a modern day Hitler basically
Yes.
trying to form, and so if he's not shut down, then he's going to continue to go.
And they're going to keep going because what would eventually happen if if he were able to capture the country again,
Hmm.
of course, by force, he's going to build his military because he's going to make them join.
Right.
Then
Hmm.
and just like we have already said, we're going to keep moving. Who's
Yep.
next? Who's
Right.
next?
You never know, because that's just how crazy it is. And then you hear someone like Trump, who first of all will not denounce, and that he's saying, if
Hmm.
I become president again, I'm going to be a dictator. He loves Putin. He
Yes.
thinks Putin is the greatest thing that walked
Hmm.
on the face of the earth. So it's like, wow, okay.
I was on this on the 696 696 service drive
Hmm.
right there at Shaner, that Shaner exit.
Hmm.
And I'm
Mm-hmm.
driving, and I just happen to glance over, and I see the entire front window Trump 2024. I I said, wow.
And I mean, because people need to believe. First of all, Trump likes to talk. He's going to tell
Yes,
you everything he's doing, and so he
everything.
has said it. If I win again, I'm going to become a dictator.
Hmm.
If
And
I
it,
win
but
again,
this in this it's
I
all
mean,
cute. It's all cute and talk because our system is set up. It's not set up that way. If
right, and I
Congress
understand that,
don't,
but it's just that
yeah,
And
mindset that I'm talking
right,
about.
yeah, and I'm just thankful
that
we have
mindset.
yeah, it's the mindset. Thankful we have the infrastructure for that not to happen. And furthermore, he only could be president for 4 years if he president.
He could do a
I
whole lot
don't
because he's did a whole lot of
Grandpa,
damage in the past 4 years that he
have
right,
a
was.
seat.
right,
Sit down, go home, do something.
Just have a seat. You now he definitely can say and be a proponent for, if you think it, you can become it.
right.
Because I remember years ago he was like, I want to be the president of the United States. He accomplished that goal. He did screw a lot of
Yeah,
things up. Have a seat, Grandpa.
have a few
And,
seats.
and just right, several seats.
Yeah,
And we wish you the best, but stop riling up citizens who cannot think for themselves.
exactly.
You, I mean, just to think that I have the power to captivate your mind and maneuver it to swing it my way. You mean to tell me your brain, are so spineless in
Mhm.
yourself that I would say, give it not just to Trump, anybody. I'm just going to
Right,
give my mind away.
right.
Ridiculous.
But you know
Ridiculous.
what? And it shows you, and we're gonna make this full circle because it shows you that without God in your life,
Yes.
Hmm.
without Jesus in your life,
Uh-huh.
Hmm.
even when you read the stories in the Bible, without God in your life,
Mm-hmm.
and you read the stories. Nothing's new under the sun. So you read the stories of all these people who are demon possessed, of all the, so you read and it's like, you see it now.
You
I
see
see it
it.
for myself. It used to be
Right.
a story. You know what
Right.
I'm
It used to
saying?
be a
It used to be a
story.
story that I read,
Mm-hmm.
but now you see it for yourself.
It's
When
unbelievable.
because your mind just opens up to whatever comes in, and
Mm-hmm.
because you have that, there are, because I know people personally who have that mindset: the universe is my God, the
Yes.
power that within me, the God in me, but they open up their minds to whatever,
Whatever,
and we have to
whoever.
be careful with that.
Yes,
That
you do.
you don't open up your mind and your
To,
spirit to
to
whatever
whatever.
that's out there,
Yeah.
Right.
because you're gonna get whatever is out
Whatever's
there.
out there.
Whoever's out there.
Whatever is out
This
there.
definitely.
So
Yeah.
yeah. So we just have to, stay vigilant, stay prayerful,
Mm-hmm.
stay. We do. We have to.
For sure.
Well, I am excited about our new season, and
Yeah.
for those of you who are viewing, and we thank you so much for watching. But we're going to have great conversations over the next what is it going to be? The next 10 weeks. Justin is going to hit up next Sunday, and I'm sure it's going to be very provocative
Yes.
and thought thinking.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Definitely.
Yes.
Before we go, I'd like to, on behalf of Talking To, and some condolences to Pastor Pamela Johnson in the transition of her brother. And they're in Ohio now, just finishing up all of the services for this past weekend. And congratulations to the students who performed yesterday with my musical students.
The Rufusville Academy.
How about that?
Rufusville Music Academy.
I have to share this before we go. So I was introducing one of the songs, and the name of the showcase was Keys to Greatness, and so there were songs that supported the four keys that we decided on: identity, balance, spirituality, and aggressiveness. So one of the students was performing, and I called the song the introduction to the wrong song. And so anybody that, I don't know if Justin remembers, but if the choir would make wouldn't do what I said do, and it's performing time, I would give them a dirty look. And that's what my student did to me yesterday,
Wow.
Justin. Joanne, he gave me a look like, that's not what we rehearsed. That's you out of order. But fortunately, he was a professional and he got it all together. He just went to the next song, but all in all, he did outstanding. So
That's great.
Congratulations to them.
Awesome.
And Justin and Joanne, I'm excited that we all are a part of this winning team.
Yes, sir.
With our various perspectives and our own expertise. It's all right with me. It gets 3 thumbs up from me.
Yes,
2 thumbs and 1 toe.
Yes.
So you all enjoy the rest of the day.
You too.
And we will get back together next week with everybody. So and tell your friends about Talking To, because we want to build our audience and tell them what a good thing that is over here at 4:00 p.m. YouTube Live and Facebook Live with Justin Hearn, Joanne Tosin Fuller, and yours truly, Rufus Bell. Everybody have a great day.
You too. Thank you. Peace out.
Peace out.